Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRIENDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, guys. Something huge is brewing in the NFC East, and it's got everything to do with a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape not only the landscape of the division, but also set the stage for the Commanders to make a major statement in the upcoming season. Rumors are swirling that the Detroit Lions, currently sitting at a solid 10-4 and with a tight cap space of about $18 million heading into 2026, are looking to make a bold move. And the player at the center of this speculation, none other than Sam Laporta, the young tight end who's been turning heads with his impressive play in Detroit. What makes this story even more intriguing is that reports from insiders like Rossini suggest the Lions might be open to trading Laporta for a first-round pick. That's a massive deal, especially considering the Lions focus on bolstering their defensive line, which has been a priority for them this offseason. They're facing some tough decisions with their cap and roster, but their main goal seems to be shaping a team capable of making a deep playoff run, maybe even challenging for the Super Bowl. Laporta, 24 years old, has been nothing short of spectacular in his second season, with over 12 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, and 78 receptions in 2025. His yards per reception sit at 13.0, and his PFF grade is a solid 87.8, with an EPA per target of plus 0.30, which shows how effective he is in creating opportunities. He's also amassed 512 yards after the catch and has a blocking grade of 74.5 on NFL.com, making him a versatile weapon who can do it all. Looking at his career stats, Laporta has already surpassed 500 receiving yards and scored 20 touchdowns in just a couple of seasons. His ability to stretch the field and make plays in tight windows has drawn comparisons to some of the league's best, with many analysts noting his Kels-like potential, especially considering his role as a versatile tight end who can line up in multiple spots and wreak havoc on defenses. The fact that he made the Pro Bowl in 2024 only cements his status as an ascending star. Even with a shoulder injury that caused him to miss a game, Laporta's average of 72.3 yards per game and his 65% success rate on seam routes showcase his reliability and explosiveness. Now, why would the Lions trade him? Well, the team is heavily invested in their offense, which currently ranks among the top in the league, scoring around 28 points per game. But rumors indicate they're worried about losing Laporta's mismatch potential in key situations, especially in the red zone, where they've seen a dip of about 15%. Their Super Bowl odds have slipped from plus 400 to plus 700, reflecting some of the uncertainty about their roster moves. They're eyeing an extension for Jared Goff, and with the cap constraints, they might see trading Laporta as a way to get more draft capital and address other needs, particularly on defense. This is where the Commanders come into the picture, and things get really interesting. Washington is in a rebuild mode, sitting at 4-10 but with a lot of room to grow. They're looking to infuse their offense with young talent, and Laporta could be exactly what they need to accelerate the process. Imagine him lining up next to Logan Thomas, or even as a primary target alongside Curtis Samuel. This would give the Commanders a dynamic weapon that can stretch defenses vertically and create mismatches all over the field. With Sam Howell developing as their starting quarterback, adding a player like Laporta would be a game changer, especially considering how he can elevate the offense in critical moments. And it's not just about Laporta's receiving skills. His ability to block and contribute in the run game makes him a complete tight end, someone who can help the offensive line in both pass protection and run blocking. This versatility could be key in a system that's trying to find consistency and explosive plays after a tough start to the season. Plus, with the Commanders' offensive line dealing with injuries, Tunsil's oblique issue, for example, having a reliable tight end like Laporta who can chip and help in protection could mitigate some of those issues and give Howell more time to find his receivers. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade could have ripple effects beyond just the Commanders and Lions. The Lions, with Laporta, are aiming to be a true contender, especially with their offense ranking among the best in the league. They're looking to sustain their success and push for a Super Bowl appearance. But losing Laporta might hurt their chemistry and explosiveness in the short term. On the other hand, for Washington, acquiring a young, talented tight end like Laporta could kickstart their offensive evolution, providing a spark that's been missing all season. It's fascinating to think about how this move could influence the NFC East's power dynamics. The Commanders, historically eager to improve and compete, could see this as a step towards solidifying their offense and making a push for the playoffs, or even contending for the Super Bowl in the coming years. The NFC East has always been a highly competitive division, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants constantly fighting for supremacy. But with a move like this, Washington could tip the scales, especially if they leverage their draft capital effectively and develop the right pieces around Howell. And let's not forget the long-term potential here. The betting odds for the Commanders winning Super Bowl LXI are still long, around +4,800, but a move like acquiring Laporta and reinforcing their roster could boost their chances significantly in the future. If they can build a balanced team that combines a solid defense with an explosive offense, they might see their long-term potential increase by about 19%. It's all about making smart moves now, and this trade might just be the kind of bold decision that sets Washington up for sustained success. So, in conclusion, the potential trade of Sam Laporta from the Lions to the Commanders isn't just a rumor. It's a signal that both teams are thinking big. For the Lions, it's about maximizing their window and trying to chase a Super Bowl in the near future. For Washington, it's about accelerating their rebuild, adding a versatile playmaker who can be a cornerstone for years to come. The excitement is real, and fans should be keeping a close eye on how this situation develops because it could truly be a game changer in the NFC East and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now guys, this kind of move could really ignite the Commanders' offense, giving them a fresh spark and a new identity. Just imagine Laporta running routes all over the field, creating mismatches against linebackers and safeties, and helping Howell develop more confidence in clutch situations. The potential for growth is massive, especially considering how this young tight end is already showing flashes of being a true game changer. For the fans, it's exciting to think about the future, about how this could turn the tide for Washington and help them rise back to prominence in the NFC. And of course, we should consider the implications on the division. The Eagles are still the team to beat, but the Giants and Cowboys are always lurking, making big offseason moves of their own. If Washington can pull off a trade like this, it could shift the division's balance and put more pressure on their rivals. The NFC East has always been a tough, gritty division, and adding a player like Laporta would make the Commanders even more formidable. It's about building a team that can compete now and in the future, and this potential move seems to be a bold step in that direction. The NFL is all about making strategic moves, and this trade rumor reflects exactly that. Teams trying to find ways to get better, to surprise opponents, and to position themselves for a deep playoff run. The Commanders are no strangers to making bold decisions, and if they manage to land Laporta, it could be the spark they need to turn things around after a challenging season. Fans are hungry for success, and the front office is clearly looking to make a splash. As we follow the story, keep in mind that trades like this don't happen overnight. They involve negotiations, cap considerations, and a lot of strategic planning. But the fact that this rumor is gaining traction suggests that both sides see the potential benefits. For Washington, acquiring Laporta would be a statement move, showing they're serious about competing and building a dynamic offense. For Detroit, it's about maximizing value and addressing pressing roster needs. Looking ahead, if this trade happens, it'll be a story that's talked about all offseason, fueling the hype and speculation as we approach the next season. The Commanders could be on the verge of a new era, one where their offense becomes more explosive and unpredictable, and where they finally start closing the gap on division rivals. Fans should be optimistic but also patient, knowing that these big roster moves take time to materialize and show results. So, stay tuned, stay excited, and keep supporting your team. The NFL offseason is full of surprises, and this potential move for Sam Laporta might be just the beginning of something big for the Commanders. We're witnessing a pivotal moment, and it's up to us to rally behind our team, cheer them on, and believe in the future. Because if this trade goes through, it could be the start of a new chapter, one filled with hope, excitement, and the pursuit of glory. And now, Washington Commanders FANS, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.